improvement teams. We may have leadership teams or leadership groups, lead teachers. I would suggest that you rotate this around, at least designate this to different individuals and give some authority and responsibility to different ones on different occasions. This is a monitoring system as much as it is a leadership position too. In this structure, it's a community of practice where learning, experimentation, reflection are the norm. We can't say enough about this piece on reflection, about us as well as the learners we have. The expectation of continuous improvement is always there. We devote resources to ensure teachers have time and opportunity to reflect. In a day and age when we're cutting back on staff, it gets more difficult to structure that time that allows that reflection. But it doesn't have to be during the day. It can be at different times. Devotes resources to content-rich professional development. I say professional experiences. There is a need to bring training in, but all too often training is left there in the room and doesn't get the follow-up or feedback, whereas an experience itself allows that growth to take place and becomes more sustainable. Not an island unto itself. It draws upon others' experience, research, and wisdom. So we communicate, we talk, we share, we model. Relationships such as networks and community partnerships that benefit students and teachers. Holds itself accountable for student success rather than blaming others. So, we face the brutal facts, such as some of Tom Collins' talk. We have to take the data for what it say and use that data to structure what we're going to do to address what that needs assessment reports to us, and not blame others for what that occurred. Take it as a reality check or a check into what really is indicated in the needs assessment. Grapple with school-generated evaluation data to identify areas for more extensive and intensive improvement. Make sure you have benchmark and insist upon evidence and results. This is a key word here, the evidence and the results themselves. We can go beyond the scores that we have, and we have to deal with those scores, and bring in evidence of what those scores actually tell us. Cultivate the collective will to preserve and overcome barriers. The word collective coming here, and we talked about collective efficacy. This is collaboration in terms of finding ways to overcome the barriers of learning. Believing, being the disposition, it is their business to produce increased achievement and enhanced development for all students. So we see our domains coming out in our language of what's important. Works with college and university recruit, prepare, mentor, novice, and experienced teachers. The collaboration between schools and school systems is probably as good as it's ever been, and it's getting better as we move into the standard-driven assessment of our performance and standard-driven curriculums. We're beginning to create these networks that are important. It includes families and community members and settings supporting the trajectory towards high performance. I think we need to talk about high performance to all our stakeholders, getting them to understand what it means and what it, how we're committed to that and their role and responsibility within that. So part of this empowerment piece is not only just the teachers, it's bringing all stakeholders into that realm of understanding what high performance is and what it means to this school. So inform the families and communities about the goals for students and students' responsibility for meeting it. That takes a lot of extra time on your part as the leader to get out into communities and use that for an opportunity to explain what high performance is. The next characteristic, moving towards a school of excellence, effective decision-making processes made by individuals most influenced by the decisions. So what does that mean? This is true empowerment kind of language, which is builds on that concept that empowerment is an attitude as much as it is a process. So if we're impacted by those decisions, then we should be part of that, and that includes whom? That includes the students as well as the teachers. this could be a checklist, similar to your checklist you've been working on. Are those decisions made by those individuals who the outcome impacts? Appropriate information is available. Train and prepare people for those decisions. These decision makers are adequately prepared to make data-driven decisions. So not only are we training efficacy, we're training our people on how to make those decisions, how to reach consensus, how to do item analysis, how to look at the needs assessment identified in the data. Then decision makers hold conversations about the data and the decisions that's made with it. So what is this? We're reflecting upon our own performance again. Action plans to implement decisions based on data. Once we've talked about it and the decisions we made, then we put it into action to create more information and more data, which we then create more knowledge with. Then hold those accountable for the consequences of their decisions. How do you hold ones accountable? Set the standard, measure against the standard, and look whether you've been efficient in meeting that particular standard. That's why it's important for your leaders to be involved in any training, especially towards self-efficacy and empowerment. The accountability comes along, is associated with even being present. We talked about this one other time, is Ed Lawler's model of potential effectiveness. Potential effectiveness is a product of information, knowledge, power, and rewards. As information contributes to knowledge, knowledge builds power, and the three themselves create a reward, and those rewards help motivate people toward potential effectiveness. What we're finding too in some of these pay-for-performance plans is that there are districts or regions dangling these carrots of bonus monies for performance, and people are responding to that reward. But we're finding after a year or so or time within that system, the reward becomes people who want to be like the ones who get the bonus, not necessarily the bonus itself, which is a great dynamic of the individual, that we're driven by wanting to be part of what's done right, not necessarily part of the reward or the financial reward that comes for that. And then the good part of it is the rewards will continue to come and get better as you push yourself to perform. So self-efficacy drives you to potential more income, if that drives you. As long as you don't focus on the income, the focus on the income won't allow you to sustain that performance properly. But if you focus on the performance and reaching a level of performance and sustaining that level of performance, what you really need out of that as far as the monetary piece will come with that. So it's a fascinating dynamic that's taking place in some of these places that are